Hello everyone, welcome. Today I am here to discuss the next point in a BSc second year semester 3rd paper physiology. Unit number first is the physiology of digestion in the alimentary canal. Friends, in our last lecture we have discussed the intracellular and extracellular digestion. Next to this, today we are discuss here the physiology of digestion in the alimentary canal. Let me first introduce before the actual process, that is the actual process of digestion in the alimentary canal. I just give some information about the hunger and thirst. Friends, you know the hunger and thirst, they are the very important part in our daily life. So see here, what is hunger? The hunger, the intrinsic desire of food is called hunger. Means the desiration of food is called hunger. And in contrast, the desire of food for a particular taste is called appetite. Actually, the sensation of hunger is an unpleasant feeling of a stomach which is expressed as emptiness of a stomach or pangs in the stomach. Such feelings is often associated with nausea, latitude and weakness. The frequency of these sensation is of near about 60 to 90 minutes and it lasts for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, supply of these sufficient amount of nutrients to blood or complete filling of the stomach stimulate the stately center present in the mid-ventral line of hypothalamus, leading to an end of the feeling of hunger. Okay, this is nothing but what is hunger before we start the actual digestion process. Okay, now we move towards the thirst. Okay, again, thirst. What is thirst? It is a desire to take water is called thirst. Okay, the excessive loss of water from the body, such as due to the excessive sweating, inadequate supply of water of the body, then the excessive intake of a salty food lead to thirst. Okay, and the main reason of feeling thirst is the stimulation of cells of the first thirst center situated in the cerebral cortex and hypothalamus. The thirst centers are very sensitive to increase in the osmotic concentration of the body fluid. They are also called osmoreceptor. Stimulation of osmotic receptor decreases the loss of water from the body and secretion of saliva. It causes a drying of mouth and throat and one feels thirst. Okay, this is nothing but the hunger and thirst. Now we move towards the actual point in this unit, or in this unit is the physiology of digestion in the alimentary canal. Friends, we have already discussed about the what is digestion. Okay, so I'm not going to the again backward of the particular things, what is digestion, what is intracellular, what is extracellular digestion. I just started the actual process of the digestion process or the physiology of digestion in the alimentary canal. See here, the physiology of digestion is completed in 5 different steps. such as ingestion. Number 2 is the digestion. Number 3, absorption. Number 4, assimilation, and last of this digestion process step is the egestion. Okay, so see, one by one we have discussed here the actual process of the physiology of digestion, or the physiology of digestion in the alimentary canal. Number 1 is the ingestion. The intake of food into buccal cavity through mouth is called ingestion. What is ingestion? Ingestion is nothing but the intake of food into the buccal cavity, okay, through the mouth is called ingestion. The man uses his hands for bringing food to mouth and bite the food or take it into the mouth cavity directly, depending on the types of the food. Means the type of food, it may be solid food, it may be liquid food, okay. Then lips do not allow, whatever we have structure, that is the lips, that lips do not allow the ingested food to the move outside, and the rugu present on the hard palate hold the food for the chewing. Okay, now the next part, or the next is the digestion. First is the ingestion, just whatever the food we take, okay, it is called the ingestion. Then the next process is called the digestion. See here, the breakdown of complex components of the food into a simple absorbable molecule is called digestion. We have already discussed the digestion purpose, or the digestion. What is meant by digestion? The digestion is nothing but the conversion of the complex molecule, or the conversion of this complex molecule into simple forms, or the absorbable forms, okay, or the soluble form. Okay, so food is digested in the alimentary canal at 3 places. Number 1, buccal cavity. Number 2, stomach, and the third one is the most important part of the alimentary canal is the intestine. Okay, so see here, first the digestion in the buccal cavity. See here, the digestion of food starts from the buccal cavity. Okay, digestion of starts from the buccal cavity, where food is held for 15 to 18 seconds before swallowing. Okay, and the food acts as a stimulant for a taste, touch, and thermal receptors present on the mucous membrane of the buccal cavity. Okay, the mucous membrane of the buccal cavity, or the nerve impulse generated in these receptors reach nerve centers of the brain through different nerve fibers of trigeminal, facial, and glossopharyngeal nerves, and causes secretion of saliva. Friends, again, in this process, the digestion in the buccal cavity, it is very important that the process that is called the process of formation of saliva, or the saliva play a crucial role in the digestion purpose. So see, chewing and swallowing by a reflex stimulation. Okay, so digestion of food in mouth cavity is mechanical or as well as the chemical. See here, when we take food in our mouth, at that time the process is performed in 2 ways, that is in a mechanical way or in a chemical way. So see, the contraction of masticatory muscles causes the movement of the lower jaw against the upper jaw soon after food reaches in the mouth cavity. Okay, and these muscles of the lower jaw are strongest muscles of the body. Whatever the muscles present in our lower jaw is the strongest muscle of the body. Okay, and the teeth help in mastication or chewing, or in grinding of the food. Okay, the tongue helps in the manipulation of the food and repeatedly brings the food between the teeth while chewing. Okay, and the mixing of saliva with the food makes it wet and lubricated. I have already just told you the role of the saliva, or the importance of the saliva in the digestion purpose. of the digestion process. So see, the saliva, it is secreted by the salivary gland, is responsible for chemical digestion. Okay, the chemical digestion. So the saliva play a crucial role. So the food in the buccal cavity, whatever the salivary gland we have, that salivary gland secretes saliva, and that particular saliva is useful to the digestion purpose. So 3 pairs of salivary glands open into the mouth. The salivary glands are the multicellular, lobular, and open into the buccal cavity through their ducts. Okay, so they are named according to their location, means the sublingual, the submandibular, and the parotid. Okay, so see here, the sublingual glands present in the anterior part of the buccal cavity. Okay, they continuously secrete saliva, and this saliva has large amount of mucin and it is alkaline in nature, means their pH is more than 7. Okay, and the submandibular glands are located at the lateral side of the root of tongue in the posterior part of the lower jaw. Okay, and the saliva of this submandibular gland is more viscous and has abundant amount of mucin and phosphatase. Okay, so that part or that particular content is responsible for the digestion. Okay, then the parotid glands. The parotid glands are located below and anterior to the ear pinna. Okay, and represent the largest salivary glands. Okay, see here, about 1000 to 1500 mmol, means 1 to 1.5 liters saliva is secreted daily in human beings. Okay, it is very important as far as the digestion process is concerned. Okay, and it is colorless. Again, the color of the saliva is there is no color, that is colorless fluid. Okay, that having pH 6.7 to 6.8. Okay, and it means it is slightly acidic in nature. Okay, and now this is the salivary gland. Okay, now the function of saliva. What are the functions? So see here, the saliva makes the food wet, soft, and lubricated. Again, what are their role? The role of the saliva. They make the food wet, soft, and the lubricated one. Okay, and in this way, saliva not only protects the buccal cavity from mechanical injury, but also helps the tongue in making food bolus and thereby swallowing of the food. Okay, then the ptyalin or the salivary amylase of saliva converts starch of the food into the maltose. Okay, and lysozymes and thiocyanic acid present in saliva kill the bacteria present in the food and protects the mouth from bacterial infection. Again, one more important function or one more important thing performed by the saliva is the protection or the protection from the bacterial infection. So okay, so due to these substances, again one more thing is here, due to these substances present in the saliva, the dogs and the other mammals repeated lick their wounds and get them healed. Okay, now this is the digestion. Okay, then the digestion in stomach. Okay, we have just seen the digestion in the buccal cavity. Okay, now we have seen we will see the digestion in the stomach region. Okay, so presence of gastric folds in the stomach makes the stomach very elastic and distensible. We know our stomach is very elastic because of the particular gastric folds. The stomach has a elasticity. Okay, and therefore it act like a silo. Okay, when the food reaches to the stomach. Okay, when we take the food and the particular food reaches to the stomach. Okay, via the esophagus. Okay, so it muscle starts the relaxing, leading to its distension. Okay, and it is called the receptive relaxation. Okay, and due to this food accumulates in the stomach. Okay, and remain there for 2 to 5 hours. Okay, means the whatever the food we take, that particular food is remain in the stomach for the 2 to 5 hours. Okay, and it also exhibits the two type of digestion. Again, as per the or the same as in buccal cavity digestion, the digestion in the stomach also is of two types, that is the mechanical and the chemical digestion. Okay, so we move towards the mechanical digestion of the in the stomach region. So peristaltic movements starts in the stomach as soon as the food reaches there. Okay, when the food reaches, the moment that called it peristaltic movement starts. Okay, and these movements are slow but intense. Okay, whatever the movement is present in the stomach, that movement is slow but they are intense movements. Okay, and due to these movements, the gastric juice mixes thoroughly. Whatever the movement is there, that particular moments, because of the moments, the gastric juice present in the stomach region, they are mixed thoroughly in the stomach region. Okay, and with the that particular gastric juice mixes thoroughly with the food, and the food is converted into a thin pulp. Okay, and this acidic pulp is called chyme. Okay, that acidic pulp is called chyme, and such movements of the stomach is called churning movement. Okay, this is nothing but the mechanical digestion. Okay, in the stomach region. Now we move towards the chemical digestion in the stomach. See here, the mucous membrane of the stomach forms many longitudinal folds. Okay, the mucous membrane of the stomach forms many longitudinal folds. Okay, at many places, mucosa is deeply embedded to form gastric pits at the base, which multicellular gastric glands are forms. Okay, and the gastric glands are formed. Okay, and the mucous membrane is columnar epithelium. The gastric glands of three types: the fundic, the cardiac, and the pyloric glands. Okay, the gastric gland, they are the three types: the fundic, the cardiac, and the pyloric glands. So four types of cells found in the fundic glands of the fundic region. Number one, the mucus cells, it secrete mucus again. Then chief or the zygomogen cells, and these cells secrete pepsinogen and prorenin. Okay, and the third cells is the oxyntic or the parietal cells. The HCl is secreted by these cells. Okay, then the gastric juice. We move towards the gastric juice. See here, the gastric juice, the gastric gland of the stomach produce approximately 1 to 1.5 liter of colorless and thin gastric juice daily. The gastric gland produces near about 1 to 1.5 liter gastric juice. Okay, and it contains near about 97 to 99% of water. Then the glycoprotein, then mucin, hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, then the enzyme pepsinogen, lipase, renin in infants, and many types of ions. Okay, and the mucin lubricates the food and protects the mucous membrane of the stomach from the proteolytic enzymes. Okay, then the HCl, the hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid is secreted by the oxyntic or the parietal cells of the gastric glands. Already we have discussed the HCl. That HCl is secreted by the oxyntic or the parietal cells of the gastric glands. Okay, or it maintain the optimum pH for the action of pepsin, and converts inactive pepsinogen into the active pepsin. Okay, again it kills the bacteria and protect the food from the decay, etc. Okay, and the renin is produced by cells of fundic part of stomach in infants only. It is not present in the adults. Okay, now this is the part of the digestion in stomach region. Now we move towards the digestion in small intestine. I have already told you that the small intestine, it is the very important part in as far as the digestion purpose. Okay, so see here the digestion of a small intestine. The partially digested food is finally digested and absorbed in the intestine. Means the absorption of the food takes place in the intestine. Okay, so the peristaltic movement, again the peristaltic movements starts throughout the small intestine as soon as the food reaches in it. Again the movement is called peristaltic movement. That peristaltic movement starts when the food reaches to the intestine. Okay, and the enzymes also thoroughly mix due to these movements. Okay, whatever the peristaltic movement is there, that because of the particular movement, the enzyme is mixed with the food. Okay, and three types of digestive juice are secreted in small intestine. Number one, pancreatic juice from the pancreas, then the bile juice from the liver, and the intestinal juice. Three type of juice is there. That particular three types of juice are the secreted, okay, in the small intestine. Now, when the food enters into the duodenum and intestine, the endocrine cells present in the mucosa of duodenum and intestine secrete some hormones, okay, in blood in response to acidic pH. Okay, the particular they secrete some hormones. Okay, and the derived proteins and fats present in the food. Okay, their hormones or these hormones and fats present in food. These hormones and fats present in food. Okay, these hormones stimulates and regulate the action of liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and intestine. Okay, when we think about the digestive system or the digestion of any mammals, okay, so the consideration of the particular glands, for example, the associated glands for the digestive system is very more important. Okay, here we have pancreas, we have liver, the gallbladder. Okay, so these associated glands, they also performing a crucial role in the digestion purpose because they secreted some enzymes, and that enzymes they are useful in the process called the digestion. Okay, so these hormones stimulate and regulate the actions of liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and the intestine. Okay, so see here the pancreatic juice. So the pancreatic juice is a thin, colorless, and again alkaline in nature, that fluid having the pH value 8. Okay, that's why they are alkaline. That's why the pancreatic juice is alkaline, and on an average near about 600 to 800 ml of pancreatic juice is secreted daily. Okay, the pancreatic juice near about 600 to 800 ml means that particular half liter juice is secreted by the pancreas. Okay, and the enzymes of pancreatic juice are the trypsinogen, then peptones, and the proteases into polypeptides. The trypsinogen, it converts the peptones and the proteases into the polypeptides. Okay, then the chymotrypsinogen also plays a same role as a trypsinogen. Okay, then the carboxypeptidase, amylopsinate, etc., the enzymes present in the pancreatic juice. Okay, then the bile. We move towards the bile. Again, bile. What is bile? Bile is secreted by hepatic cells. Okay, and about 500 ml to 1000 ml means half liter to 1 liter bile is secreted daily in human beings. Okay, and it plays a crucial role in digestion. It helps in absorption of fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Okay, and it also acts as an excretory medium for removal of many undesirable and toxic substances from the body. Okay, means that's why the bile they performing a very crucial role in the digestion purpose. Okay, and again, not only performing these only two functions, they perform many more functions by the bile. Okay, now the intestinal juice, or the it is also called as succus entericus. Okay, so about 2 to 3 liter, again more interesting, the 2 to 3 liter of intestinal juice is secreted from the intestine daily. Okay, means daily our intestine, it secreted near about 2 to 3 liter intestinal juice. Okay, and the many enzymes giving their duties for the digestion purpose. Okay, so that particular 2 to 3 liter of intestinal juice, it contain many enzymes, and that enzymes, they performing their duties for the process called digestion. Means they help in the digestion process in the intestinal region. Okay, and the particular enzymes, erepsin is there, disaccharidases, nucleases, nucleotidases, then the nucleosidases, phosphatase, lipase, etc. All these enzymes, they performing their duties. Okay, in the process called digestion. Okay, now the third part we have seen here until the ingestion, ingestion. Okay, then the digestion. Okay,